You're now listening to episode 93 of Signed In, an Xbox 360 podcast, recorded on May 12th, 2012. Find us online at signedinpodcast.com. Welcome back to Signed In. I am Jeremy Superfro 33.
I'm Craig Propdresser.
And I'm Sean Shonix.
How are you guys doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you guys doing?
We're doing okay.
2 weeks of ass. Work sucked. Xbox.
Was it a nice ass?
That's the thing.
Not nice.
Ass usually can mean good or bad, and this is the bad ass. Not even the bad ass.
That's good. That's
good.
thing.
Badass is good.
You have tangled yourself in a web of words over there, Sean.
Yes. Let's just say it was less than awesome.
Less than awesome.
But there were times where it was really awesome.
So it was great.
Yes, it was an emotional roller coaster that I couldn't. They kept telling me to put my hands down. So it was just like, thanks.
And you didn't, and they got scissored off.
Yeah, about. So the Xbox decided to stop reading discs.
That's not good.
Not again.
Yes. This is the Slim. This is the first time for the Slim. I had to break out old Whitey, and she's just being loud, roaring
That's
at
what
me.
they do.
She's just. I didn't notice how loud she was until I hooked her back up, and I'm like, are we doing laundry? And I'm like, nope, it's the Xbox. I thought So that's coming back pretty soon.
It's the size of a washing machine, too.
What?
It's the size of the washing machine compared to your Slim, so...
It's just an eyesore up there, too. It draws your attention. I need a new TV. Anyway, all that aside...
You did have a warranty.
I did have a warranty, so that's all getting taken care of.
That's good.
They're sending that back, and I'll be getting my Slim back with a probably new disc drive, hopefully.
Probably.
And luckily there was no disc games in the last 2 weeks, so
Exactly.
you're good.
Yeah, exactly. And it wasn't...
There was nothing.
It wasn't until summertime, my fiance was kind of like, we need to watch some Hulu. So I was like...
We need to...
Oh, yeah.
I had to dig. I didn't want to dig.
Your TV.
I didn't want to dig out the white. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't want to dig her out. But then I was like, that's a good idea. Yeah. So we dug it out, and we
need to watch some Hulu.
But I needed
Falling
to...
behind.
And then I couldn't do my show notes because then I was like... All recently played is not there anymore because it's on my other Xbox. And I'm like, oh, crap.
Here's a tip. Go to your account management and download history.
Oh.
Because then it'll show you stuff that you deleted as well.
That's a good idea.
It'll also show you things
And DLC.
Right, it'll show you things that you bought, like consumable packs for FIFA 2012.
That's awesome. I didn't know you're a huge football fan.
Football.
Traditional football. I'm not. So I haven't played games all week. We had a busy week.
I played some.
We had a busy week last week with Free Comic Book Day.
Yes. It was awesome.
Thank you guys for mentioning on the pull list. I appreciate that.
It was easy to mention.
It was a good time. And so I was busy all week, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get all my gaming in Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm going to do a bunch of it. And I go to log in, and I show that I've been playing FIFA, which I haven't been playing FIFA. But FIFA, it's been
that's been going through my head, too.
So my account got hacked. And so the word's out there about the FIFA hack that's been happening to a number of people.
Now.
Yeah, so... they hacked into my account, I guess, and used all of my points that I had sitting on there. Luckily, I don't have a credit card tied to my account.
Yeah, that's very fortunate.
So I was able to do that. However, going through the process of them researching it and getting my points back to me, I have to stay offline for what they told me 6 days, which sucks ass because I can't.
Is that working days?
Yeah, but that was
I imagine that's
business days,
calendar days.
I hate that shit.
But that's a lot quicker than they were when this was first starting to
happen.
happen.
I'm hearing that it's even quicker than that now.
Yeah,
so
because it was like a month, at least a month went back when this was first coming down.
Right, and I'm pretty sure they're up on what's causing it now. Even though
Right.
EA and Microsoft says they have not had any breaches in security,
No, none.
But they asked me 2 questions, and one of them is if I've given my password to anybody online.
Which
no.
you do all the time.
No. Number 2, they asked me if I've registered any games with EA. So that's pretty telling where the problem's coming at when there's only 2 questions and one of them is regarding EA specifically.
Yeah.
Which I have because I think you can't play a game without registering it with them anymore.
Most of the
So
time.
Mass Effect probably had to be registered.
Yeah.
All of those do.
Yep.
So that sucks. They drained the 3,000 points that were sitting on my account and bought all of the consumables inside of FIFA, which
Are you sure this isn't you?
I'm gonna give a pass to the guy who stole it from me because I know where he's coming from, and he bought all the
packs of
card
cards.
packs in FIFA, so I get that. It's cool.
Nice.
That's cool. I mean, it still sucks because I want my points, but
Yeah.
I know where you're coming
That
from, buddy.
sucks.
I understand the obsession.
And then he's like, damn it, this one doesn't have a credit card on it.
So exactly. Thank Christ.
But it's got 3,000 points.
Oh,
FIFA Las Vegas.
Anyway, so that sucked for me in the last couple of days.
I'm sure.
So I've been a little limited on what I played, but I got to check out a couple things that we'll talk about on XBLA
so
side.
It
But
might be a briefer show, but every time we plan that,
We'll
then
see.
it just
Yeah.
lasts longer.
Yeah.
what do you got, Craig?
Indie
Since you actually
game-wise-
had a working machine.
Indie game wise, it's
Sponsored
pretty
by Extends.
pretty what?
Yeah, I don't
Longer
know.
show? Never mind.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Pretty
okay.
brief indie game stuff. I just have SEAL Team 12. Sean, you have something additional, right?
I have SEAL Team 12 as well, and then Cuddle Bear.
Yes. XBLA wise, I did try out all the shiny new offerings that
Fable
came out in the
Heroes?
past couple weeks. Fable Heroes, Awesomenauts, and
Yes.
Minecraft. Xbox 360 Special Edition. Wow.
Entry.
Now with more blocks.
Now more pixelated.
More pixels per inch.
Didn't really get a chance to play much. I've been playing a lot of Dance Central, going back through that and cleaning up some achievements. I've been going back through a lot of old games, arcade
You're not
games
going to talk
as well.
about that, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good,
I'm
thank
not.
you.
But I've just if you look at my play history, there's a lot of things. Like I went back to Blood Rain, that arcade game
Yeah.
for that,
Nice.
and I was going through a bunch of older games that I haven't finished all the achievements on, or that I got very few on, as in Blood Rain, and I am terrible at that game. That's my talk about that game.
The last game that I played before the disc stopped reading was X-Men Destiny, because I've been trying to get the Brotherhood and the highest. I don't know why I'm achievement hunting on that.
I don't
game.
either.
Because it's easy. Because I got it all in like 3 days.
Well, you did, but
You're crazy.
God, some of those enemies, it's like button smash. Anyway, I broke my Xbox.
But I guess closest thing to disc-wise was DLC packs for FIFA. Actually, no.
You son of a bitch.
there it is.
Asura's Wrath. We're bringing Asura's Wrath back to the
Yes.
show.
Finally.
Exactly.
He's always
You've
come
been clamoring for it.
It's never going to stop.
back until they do.
But the episode pack that we talked about last episode
Yeah.
that had just come out, and then Lost Episode 1. Where you battle Ryu from Street Fighter.
Oh, nice.
I can't wait to hear about it.
Yes.
I love that. I can't wait.
Do you?
I want to play it like right now, but I can't.
Let's start talking so we can talk about it. Oh,
Cool.
I forgot though. We have a contest
Oh, contest.
that I need to mention. We
There it
do. We have a contest for a full copy of Halo Reach.
Yes.
In downloadable format, and for the Modern Warfare content pack #1 that came out a couple months ago.
Very generously donated to the show.
Donated to us. We'll talk more about that at the end of the show, with including how you can get or enter into that contest. It's super easy. Don't worry,
Nice.
Hack Jeremy's Xbox.
and you can have it all.
Which is super easy.
And then you buy it with my points that are sitting. That's how you do it.
Oh my god. I also wanted to mention our community playdates section has been very quiet on the forums for a long time now, at least a month.
With no help from us.
They've all gone out.
at
Well,
all, yeah.
I am trying to correct
Oh.
that. Now, the first one that I've done is for Monday Night Combat, coming up this Monday, May 14th. So many of you
Ooh.
probably will be just listening to this show shortly prior
Hopefully.
to this. Or a little bit afterwards, but come check it out. I'm going to be trying to throw up some other things.
Nice.
Basically, there are a bunch of arcade games that I haven't played much, and they're multiplayer based, and so I want to play with the folks that I know.
Cool.
And have some fun with it. So if you're interested in that, come by, set up some stuff of your own. I'd be happy to join in with that as well.
Awesome.
But if you're interested in playing Monday Night Combat this May 14th, stop by. Leave a post for me so that I can be sure to send invites to the correct people.
Cool.
On the day.
Nice.
But
Check out the forums.
yes, come by
Because
the
we have a
forums.
whole section on there for the
Yes.
multiplayer.
And you can access that through the website.
Yes.
Pseudo-rate, well, that one too, but I was going to say signed in podcast.
If you go to signinpodcast.com, we do have a link directly on there to the forums. And every episode that we publish, we also put a link directly to
That's right.
that episode
correct.
discussion. So that'll get you to the forums as well. So
Sweet.
you can find us anywhere.
Yes,
Or just search it.
anywhere.
You can get anywhere.
encyclopedias.
We're in your house.
Encyclopedias.
We're actually just behind you. If you want to just turn around and tell
back-
Craig that you're going to be up the
back
plan,
of cereal box.
yeah, you can look on the back of cereal boxes. What? We are the prize inside of a cereal box. If our show had a tagline, it would be Signed In Podcast, the prize inside of a cereal box.
No, we would be the prize you didn't get, even though it was
True.
on the box.
Yeah,
so
we're
you
the
open it
awesome
up,
one.
and then you open it up, and it's like not in there, and then you're
You're like, oh, I wanted signed in.
you're like,
Our contest does involve sending in box tops, right?
and then you open the bag, and then you're digging through, and it's like there's nothing in there either. Yeah,
I
had
wanted
that happen
signed
to me.
in. I got pulled in.
Oh,
I'm outnumbered. I couldn't do that.
That
I
works
should
out.
have said 3-day block.
yeah.
All right. Should we talk about some games?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's start off in the indie section. Sean, what do you got?
I'm gonna kick it off with Cuddle Bear. It sold for 240 points.
It sounds like a very sweet game.
It is very sweet. It's done by Maddie Matt or someone else. That's who was listed. But it's a platformer shooter, and you're this lovable cuddle bear
Affable?
who decides to like cut off his like owner's finger to write Red Rum on the wall. If you skip over the whole intro to the game, it's not too bad because when it gets down to it, I had a lot of fun just with the gameplay. It's a little bit on the loose side. As I said, it's a side scroller. You can jump. You're jumping over enemies like bunnies, squirrels. You're a mad bear, essentially what it is.
How would you compare it
Or
to
Cuddle
Naughty
Bear.
Bear?
Better, like
Playable?
5,000 times better. Like I would own this game 3 times over before I would play. Ugh, I hate that fucking game. But anyway, it gets pretty crazy. It looks like there's like 70 some levels because I always play. I've played it a couple different times.
Wow, that's a lot of levels.
And they look pretty insane because you're trying to get to a doorway, and some of the levels seem a little bit on the shorter side, but it seems like they amp up the enemies. Like you have more enemies to go through, or you have to more jumps because sometimes they have like crevices you have to jump over, things like that. And it's kind of got the the Super Mario feel to it as well. You can pick up guns on the guns, not gums, but you can pick up guns on the way.
Human gums.
But you can also those are more of a time limit type gun. But what I loved about this game that it had the sound effects were fantastic. It was someone just pretty much adding in their own. It wasn't no Michael Winslow, but it was.
That's even better though. I like that they're like poorly done. It reminds.
It's-
It sounds like it'd be like Jelly Car, that game like cry about all the time.
Yes.
That was and it was just like somebody going boom 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 boom. boom.
Isn't that on PSN?
And it's a lot of.
I think it's on something. now.
It's
I
a
don't
lot
know.
like that. You'll pick up
Jerks.
a shotgun and it will be like, and it'll be like, or pew pew.
People's
and,
voices.
Oh yeah, I love it.
fun.
And like you hit
That's
the
great.
squirrel, it's like squirrel, and it reminded me of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. But I had a lot of fun with just playing the demo. I don't know if I can really sit down and spend the 240 points on it.
70
but-
levels. That's a lot of.
There's a lot of levels.
And some of the levels look pretty friggin' insane, like insane. So
I might have to try it out. I looked at the screenshots and the artwork kind of pushed me off.
yeah, and that's I don't know why I looked at it too, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it out because I like to bash games too on the show sometimes.
Sometimes.
But this one I couldn't. I tried to find some. There's a lot of stuff to bash on it. But anyway, it's not. Try the trial.
Cool.
It was cuddly enough for you.
Yes.
Also played SEAL Team 12 from
Yes.
Social Loner Studios. This was also 240 points. This is a top-down twin stick walk around and shooter. Like what are some old games that fit this bill? Commando. Was the original Metal Gear Solid kind of in that vein as well?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it
top-down like
was.
that,
Yeah. Or heavy metal was.
No,
another-
it was from an angle. I don't know. It was weird. Anyway, I didn't play this game, so I don't know. I can't compare it.
True. So
POW.
Let me tell you what it's like.
POW?
POW was a top-down. Yeah,
That's
There you go.
old arcade game.
Yep. You get in tanks and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay. Anyway.
Well, no, I don't.
so you're
Regardless.
It's top down, so it's largely 2D, but then they've also used like 3D character models
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the enemies and for a lot of things actually. And so it's got a very nice level of polish on it.
Very much. Yeah.
You run around, twin stick shooter, obviously, but you have your primary weapon, which is your right trigger, and then you can pick up secondary weapons, which are your left trigger, which have a limited amount of ammo, obviously, and then like left bumpers to throw grenades. And I thought that was a very this, I don't know if it was locking onto targets for me or if I was just very lucky and they were always right there where I needed them.
I thought that was really unique by it.
It was good.
It just felt like it was going where my eye was going.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make it, maybe it automatically targets and then you can, turn to a bigger target or like try to take out more, because I noticed it did have some of those had a very wide spread.
Yeah.
So
the super grenades.
Super grenade did too, but the frag one worked really well too. Yeah. And there was
some barrels nearby.
That might have been. There was some 1-ups too that I thought was pretty cool throughout the game.
So you'll run around basically
arcadey.
It's very arcadey.
Yep.
There is this criminal or terrorist organization.
Yes.
What is it? Something of destruction. Gears of destruction.
Something like that. Because I think he even has a gear on his.
That might be a Gears of Destruction.
It might be. Yeah.
But basically, their acronym is God.
Yeah.
And so.
That was the only bit about the game that I thought was a little bit like, I love the tongue-in-cheekness of it.
There's a lot of puns,
but yeah, it was just that got kind of a little beat over the head. But,
I liked it. I thought it was very fun.
I'm just trying to nitpick, I think, on that one.
The dudes are spouting out cliche action movie.
Nice
one-liners and stuff, and
you've got the guy. The character model's a lot like your Duke Nukem in the way, the tank top,
a little bit,
the light blue or the red tank top. Then you got this guy that keeps showing up. Well, not this guy. It's a guy, and then his brother shows up, and then because he keeps dying.
Yes,
he's Carmine, I'm assuming, of the Gears fame.
But what I liked, even when you're doing your character selection, basically because you have local co-op. 2-player co-op. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but so when you're deciding how many players are going to play, like it says, pull right trigger to test weapons, and then because it's just a static image of your guy, like a drawing of them. Then all of a sudden, it's like them shooting and like being like and like weapon okay. And I thought that that was just like a little detail in there that adds to the sort of the fun and charm of the game. Yeah. There's a lot of funny stuff going on in there.
SEAL Team Zero.
SEAL Team Zero, which are literal seals with construction hats with Uzis duct taped to them.
Very cool.
Coming at you through the water. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to pick it up. I haven't bought it yet just because I actually want to knock out a few other games before I pick up a new one.
And you used all my points on FIFA.
Yes.
Exactly. I was buying it too quickly. I got over exuberant with the packs.
3,000 points. I'm going.
I need Beckham. He's a soccer player, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
cool. That happened. No, that's a movie.
Pele's not in there, right? He's not a soccer player anymore.
No.
Right? That's the only 2 soccer players I know.
You're out.
Pele and Beckham. Done.
All right. What was I saying? Oh, but I will pick it up. It was a lot of fun. Cool. I was very tempted to buy it right out when I got to the end of the demo. To
Me
be perfectly
too.
Honest.
I thought it was. I went back and skipped
voice acting.
I went back and I trucked through the tutorial so I could make it to the next level and get a little bit more time on it. And I had a lot of fun.
Well, you can skip the tutorial.
I couldn't get over on the map.
You got to wait a second for it to fully load, and then you have to move over. You probably got impatient.
I was very impatient.
Yeah, because I played it through twice. Once where I went through all the tutorial,
nice.
And then once where I kind of just went straight to the first mission.
It's really I thought it was a pretty sweet game.
Oh yeah. I think you mentioned jumping in tanks. That's pretty sweet because like the tanks have kind of unlimited ammo.
A little bit, yeah.
Basically, I think you get the tanks.
You're a big gun, and then once it runs out,
maybe they can be destroyed. I never had
some
that
armor.
problem.
Yeah, there is a little bit of armor, but you get all like hell bent. You're like, I'm gonna roll through everybody.
Yeah. Most of the time, though, I was just driving it until I couldn't drive it past like obstacles anymore. Then I had to hop out.
And then you can also pick up weapons. There's like weapon boxes, and then there would be multiple weapons in them, and you can pick up one.
They're weapons. They're also power ups.
Yep. So it was
awesome.
It was really neat, the fact that you could use one weapon and then go back and pick the other one up.
Yeah.
Because other games you don't. You pick one up, the other one usually disappears. But I guess that's for the 2 players in there. The 2 players in there is just staying in there. That's cool.
That's true.
Yeah. Definitely want to try the co-op.
A lot of fun. Very silly. Very fun.
Cool.
So let's talk about little XBLA.
Let's do it.
I actually did go back and retried a few older games that I wasn't feeling the first time we talked about it. Or actually one that I didn't try before, because I played Trials Evolution.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of people were commenting on the show and just kind
to
of...
not even play the other one?
Yeah, exactly.
And just move on to Evolution?
Just go to Evolution.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'll give it a shot. And it is fun. It's that complete repetitive nature, and I fall prey to that too much.
Yeah.
And especially because the checkpoints are very nice, but because you have little checkpoints along the way that you can restart from. But I was just like constantly doing like 2-second intervals of things and then moving on. I'm like, no. And I'm terrible at controlling that bike.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get used to. And I would probably also say you're a bit of a perfectionist, don't you think?
Maybe.
Have you ever been settled at that before? Probably by yourself, I'm assuming.
Yes.
So I would view that kind of game as like being a mentally breaking
Torturing
for
myself.
You.
Yeah. But
full on breakdown.
But I did like all the fun elements in there. I thought that was pretty neat. I also went back and tried Shoot Many Robots. They have not added the twin stick shooter element yet, so I gave that up because I'm like, yeah, it's pretty much as I remember it. I just want it to be 2 sticks because that right stick does nothing.
Yeah,
right. I did not care for that. I was not on that show. You
missed that episode.
About. Yeah, that was the PS3 episode.
That's right. I forgot.
And then I went and tried Skullgirls again. I was actually better at that. I actually won a couple matches, in my limping sort of way, and I was able to get through most of the tutorials this time.
Nice.
They had not done the updates for it yet, but it still wasn't really selling me.
No,
so
didn't hook you.
No, not enough. But anyway, those are my quick hits there.
Well, cool.
But 3 new games came out in the past 2 weeks.
They did.
I played one of them.
You played one
Good
of them?
job.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Let's guess.
Was it Fable Heroes?
I think I said that at the beginning of the show. Never mind.
Fable
move
Heroes?
On. No, that's creepy.
I played Fable Heroes.
I played that as well.
Let's kick it with that one
from
then.
Lionhead Studios. 800
points?
Microsoft points.
Correct. It is a side-scrolling hack and slash beat 'em up
Team party
game. Mario Kart. I mean, not Mario
Mario
Kart.
Party.
Mario Party
meets
Castle Crashers. Wannabe.
Meets Little Big Planet Puppets.
Little Big Planet. Exactly right. They mashed everything into one big ball for this game.
What's popular?
And it
Let's do this.
And you know how if you did that, everything would look kind of like a gray mess? It's kind of how I felt about this game.
A little bit, yeah. A lot of people were saying how terrible it was. I didn't find it terrible. I just found it kind of underwhelming.
It was very underwhelming for me. I like the art style. I like the puppets that they went with. I like the
idea of the team play.
Yeah,
and going for the coins.
It just wasn't smooth for me. Like the progression of it, like I felt like it was kind of murky. That you were moving around, kind of just like slow and sluggish. There wasn't really a like speed to it. I kind of got lost in what was going on.
Yeah, that would definitely happen.
So there was
bigger battles, especially if you're a melee person.
Yeah, and you have 3 other people on your team. Even if you're not playing with other people, they have CPU people that you're playing with. Mm-hmm. And so you have those, you have your enemies, you have like all the animations from the fight, and I kind of and there's coins flying everywhere.
Yep.
I kind of just lost track of where I was, what I was doing. I was just basically mashing my button, and trying to hit everybody.
Right.
You can get power-ups as you go through. Some of those are a little odd. Some of them make your guy giant. Some of them slow down time, which I'm already moving super slow, so I don't really know why that was awesome.
But they only really seem to affect the person who picks it up. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I was only playing by myself, so I don't really know how that
would affect.
So
like
there was
online
would there just be one treasure chest, and whoever got to it first gets the thing? Because it's kind of a competitive mode.
A little
too.
bit, yeah. It's competitive co-op is what it is. Yeah.
So you're building up coins, and at the end of the level, whoever has the most coins,
first, second, third,
you get ranked. And then they move on to this weird, fucked up thing to like give you you do your increased powers.
This is the thing I heard people complaining about the most for this game.
It's so weird. It goes to like this board game setting. That
you earn a number of dice based on how you performed.
Yeah, based on your end performance, and then you roll the dice and you move around this board, and where you land gives you that option to buy that power.
But apparently, some of them look like they're negative because, like, that corner piece had like a big zombie's head on it or something.
Well, see, I think some of them gave you more damage against certain types of enemies.
Well, yeah. Ooh. Well, basically, they're different categories for the squares, and so then within that category, you can select different types of power ups. So, for example, there is basically attack strength one that you could increase like your damage against bosses or something, or you could get yourself a new special move or some, you would have a couple of options, or you could choose to not purchase anything at that square. And I can foresee getting down the line and getting to that point where it's like, well, just gotta not purchase anything at this square. Awesome.
Great.
But what if you keep rolling your dice and it keeps landing on a square that you don't want to buy?
You only get like a couple dice to roll anyway.
Then you don't get to do anything.
And you don't do anything, and then you got to do another one. Awesome. I know, it's so weird. It makes no sense to me.
They should have just did it Twister style.
Plus,
they're just like right hand red, and you're like, oh, I don't want to buy that.
I can understand. The thing is that it's very simplified. That's the idea that I got from the whole thing, is that it's all been taken down a few notches, and yet. If you're playing by yourself and you have the CPU characters, then you have to manage all of their leveling up as well, which was kind of excessive. And all the oversimplification of everything, I had to roll for the other 3 characters, wait for them to walk, try to decide how much they want to spend, and I'm like, well, you fuckers need to grab more coins. I would appreciated you not grabbing coins so I got in first place, but now that I have to still manage you all.
Do all your work.
Yeah.
It's a weird game. It's a weird mix.
Yeah.
And I don't find it particularly fun. Like I think
they're going for a party family game.
I guess so.
And I can see that, but I've played a lot of party family games and enjoyed a lot of party family games, and this one didn't quite strike me in those ways.
And while I did like the design and the style of everybody, I didn't like so much, or I did like the environments too, like walking around in the Fable world and like seeing that in a cartoony version.
Sure, yeah.
And seeing all of that, and that was really well done, and I liked the look of it. It's just the gameplay was kind of...
It was pretty one note throughout.
Yeah,
correct. Just kind of fight.
I just saw
not much for me.
I just saw the characters, and I was like, no, because they were in the avatar stuff early before I knew it was a game, and I'm like, why? What is this for? And why do I want to look like that? And who is this? Yeah. So don't put your avatar stuff out before the game gets released, because then I might not
for
play
Sean.
it. Nope. Sean might not play it then.
All right. Well, I don't really have much more to say about it.
No,
it's not for me, and I'm not going to be probably going back to it.
No.
I wouldn't think.
All right, let's talk Awesomenauts from Ronnie Mo
That's
Games.
what you have. Is it awesome or not?
Oh, no.
It is pretty awesome.
It is pretty awesome.
Or not?
Or not.
It's a team combat based game.
1 to 3 player teams. So
Yes.
multiplayer online is up to six people.
Right. And it's the basic story here is that it's the far-flung future. These two races of robots are trying to compete with each other to mine this awesome mineral, and so they hire these mercenaries, the Awesomenauts, in order to help protect their mining facilities and stop the other robot race from being able to mine. And that's basically the whole premise there.
Yep.
It doesn't seem to have any sort of story mode or anything like that. It's just big
versus.
big online combats.
I kind of bash on those online games that don't put a campaign type game in it, and this one would be one that I would bash on a little bit, but then move on. I enjoyed what I played of it. I like the 800 point price
point.
of it. I thought that was really nice. The multiplayer would be really fun on it because that's all I played. But at the same time, I don't see myself. Like the whole genre, that whole idea of the game is just something I don't see myself returning to on a day, like on a weekly basis. Because then if I'm going to do a multiplayer game, because it kind of felt like Monday Night Combat for me.
A little bit.
Tiny, just...
There are some important differences
like
between
defending.
those kind of games. And one is that the game ends when the other team, or when one team destroys your mining drill.
Yeah.
And that can go on for quite a while.
Yeah.
You get a 30-minute limit to play online for the demo, and I used up over half of that just playing one game.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing necessarily.
No, 15-minute game isn't bad.
But it depends on whether you're having a great time with it or not.
Exactly.
And it's also drop in, drop out for the matches instead of waiting, looking for a fresh room to start, and then you start at the beginning and basically you play to the end unless you're a dick and you drop out in the middle.
Yeah.
Or you have network problems. That happens.
Yeah, it does happen.
But I got dropped into the middle of a match that was going on, which was kind of cool. But then at the same time, I wonder about sort of level balancing because the opponent mercenaries were way outpowering me. I was just playing the demo. I just started playing. I only had the 2 basic characters to mess with. They were both level 1. And it seemed like I was being paired with a bunch of people who were at approximately that same sort of setting. And so we were getting, demolished, and that wasn't a whole lot of fun for me.
Probably not.
The game I played, the tide got turned a little bit, which I thought was really there was a couple turrets that the other team took out really quickly, and then we.
Well, that would be fun.
But I'm wondering then too if the other players were kind of anticipating that or had played it before and were like building up points to upgrade their stuff, and maybe that's why we were able to take down the other turrets faster.
It did seem that some of those more high level opponents were kind of farming some points. There was a dude who's the monkey with the jetpack, and he was just flying around, just dropping bouncing bombs and just hanging out in areas, killing people.
Yeah,
and that's where the 15-minute thing you were talking about becomes not fun. If you're just spinning your wheels for 15 minutes and just keep dying and coming back, and while the other team's just like basically playing cat and mouse with you until they can just end the game, then that's no fun.
Yeah. So I'm not a huge fan of a lot of the PvP type games. Anyway. So it's more of a personal preference than it is that it's a bad game. I think it actually is a pretty slick game.
I agree. I think I
like the design.
Character design are great. The music's great. The Awesomenauts like theme song.
I like everything I've seen from it. I like really the design, like you were saying, and I like how the characters all look. So I wanted to check it out. I just didn't get around to it.
It's worth checking out. Definitely.
Yeah.
And that 800 points is a good price. I mean, that is a good price for that game, but
they've already got DLC
I'm a
announced
loner,
coming
Dottie.
out. Another new character, another new Awesomenaut.
Awesomenaut, and it's an awesome name, or is it?
It's pretty
or not.
Oh yeah, you got to say that first. I'm not. Then
you're not awesome. Not awesome. Not.
All right, just one last XBLA game here.
That's all we got.
It is Minecraft.
I didn't
360.
360 special hyper shiny edition
with more cubes.
Squared.
I think we said that already. Squared.
This is from 4J Studios and Mojang. Sells for 1,600 Microsoft points.
$20.
But from what I understand,
free on the
it
PC.
is a massive game. Is it free?
I thought so.
It was free for a while. I think
years
I think
ago.
when it was in its beta.
Is it not anymore?
I mean, I know they've made millions and millions of dollars off of it.
I thought that
is not a hyperbole there.
No, I know. I thought maybe that was after add-ons later on.
I don't think so.
Wasn't microtransactions out or anything?
It might. I don't think so.
Okay.
It may also just be that people paid for it after they played it.
What do I know?
Benevolent people.
Here's what I know. This game isn't for me.
Oh,
I can't deal with it. I'm super lazy.
If this was the only game in the world, it would be for me.
True.
If it's all you had time with, that's a good point.
True.
If you had nothing else to distract you.
And if my job wasn't the way it is now,
exactly.
and if I didn't have other sorts of things going on.
This is the desert island game.
Yeah.
Because it
is literally a desert island that you're on. Kind of.
For the two people out there who don't know what Minecraft is,
yes,
it's essentially
I was one of them
completely
for a long time.
completely open sandbox game where you can collect resources and craft them into new types of resources and use that to construct basically whatever your heart's desire. But it's also mixed with sort of an adventure survival element as well, where at night things become more dangerous and there are monsters coming around, so you have to make sure that you're well protected either with weapons and armor or building yourself shelters. I believe you can. You have health, because you have to.
I don't remember.
Because you can kill pigs and get pork chops and then fry them up and eat them.
Do you have to eat though, or do you use it
if
just
you
to
want
get
your health back?
Okay.
Yeah, if you want your health back. No, yeah, it's not Sims.
What
level
happens if you die?
I don't know.
Like, is your game over?
You get turned
or
into
does it
another
just come back to
brick. Block.
You just have to watch time progress.
Yep,
as your body just
I have
decomposed.
absolutely no idea.
You just turn into a small brick.
But I like these kinds of games. I used to play The Sims a lot.
Yeah.
I used to play Animal Crossing a lot, Harvest Moon, all of these games that are borderline between fun and work.
Yeah.
But, those...
Back when you would make a game purchase and it would last you 3 months.
Exactly. And
that
that
was
would
not
pretty
the
much
world
be the
anymore.
only thing that I played. Yeah. And so that's my problem. I can see myself playing it for a few hours, for a couple days, but then I'm going to move on to something else. And for $20, and for a game which has all this rich elements to it, that seems like kind of a waste of money.
Yeah,
in my
and here's the other thing. I really like the idea of the incorporating multiple people being able to come in. So,
yes,
the online aspect,
yeah.
I think, is awesome.
Oh yeah,
like you could have people come in and play around and share responsibilities and do
Fuck
stuff
up with
and
your stuff.
I hope not. I hope there's safeguards.
I remember when that was
stuff.
in Sims when other people could playing on the same
box up your
computer.
people.
Yeah, could they'd lure them over.
into death traps.
Yes. Take out the doors.
But it'd be fun to visit other people's places that actually have skills that could where they build things.
Yeah.
Because I don't. I just don't have the
here's my
imagination
thing.
for it.
YouTube exists.
Exactly.
I can watch.
And I
all those
love
good
looking at other
ones.
people's stuff. I just can't even imagine doing it
Yeah,
myself. Like the guy who built the to scale USS Enterprise.
Or the actual working computer.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
would do math calculations.
That is messed up.
I know, right?
That is messed up.
That's what I'm talking about.
My brain hurts already.
So who knows?
Yeah, I just don't have that sort of drive to do it. I have a hard enough time with quote unquote sandbox games that are very quest driven, like Red Dead Redemption, which I still haven't finished.
Yeah.
Something that's really, really open. It's like I'm going to play for a while and just kind of trail off.
I feel the same way. If something about never mind. We'll get onto Red Dead and turn into some debate here.
We should talk about Red Dead.
No, we shouldn't.
Red Dead.
That's
Chat.
the only game that
Red
made
Dead
me
Private
change my way on those kind of games, which is weird.
That's true.
Which is really weird. But any other games that have come along, I get so lost in this game. That's why I didn't even download it.
Going for you.
My Xbox doesn't work.
True.
Do we have more to say about Minecraft?
I was going to play it a lot this week.
Not really. I mean, people know the game.
Yeah, that's
and it's not that we're saying it's a bad game. It's just kind of.
I am. It's bad. Yeah. It's not for me because I try to manage around those looking at all those tutorials.
Yeah.
Which is a good tutorial. It's a great tutorial.
it is
and
a great
everything's really
tutorial.
spelled out for you. And I love how they put everything on
like
there.
the picture formulae to figure out how to craft things.
It's
very
brilliant.
straightforward.
It's just that I look at it and I get overwhelmed
yeah.
because I'm simple.
See, I'd build something and burn it down and get pissed.
You could do that.
See, that's what would happen.
I was afraid of my house because they tell you need to put light in your house, so you need to make some torches. And so I made some torches and I stuck it there, and then this little flame jet kind of shoots out of the top and is close to the roof. I'm like, fuck this, and I pulled out all the torches and tore down the roof and built it one higher. I'm like, I'm gonna be trapped in a matchbox here.
That's awesome.
What's awesome is that there's this, and this is old, but there's an old YouTube video. I remember when Minecraft was new, and it was a guy who was basically showing how to put out fire.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he was making a video of him starting a fire in his house or whatever, and then showing you how to bat it out. And so he does it, and he's like, "Oh no!" And it starts spreading. And so it gets out of
I remember you
control,
telling
and he
me about
backs
this.
out, and it just basically burns down his entire house, and he's just sitting there like, "Oh no, oh this isn't good."
I have to say, because it's got the adventure survival element in there,
Yeah.
there's some kind of frightening stuff. Like I was digging a ditch to get some stone out of the ground, the earth or whatever, and I was kind of close to that cave in the demo, and I heard I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I was just stopped for a minute, and I'm looking around, I'm like,
I had that too, and it scared the shit out of me because I didn't know what was going on because it was daytime still.
and it keeps warning you that at night the monsters come out, you need to get in the shelter quickly and all of that, and so
I didn't go to the night.
I made it to the night, and I finished my shelter, and I slammed the door shut, and then I was just basically hiding inside with my pickaxe or my axe ready, and I was just running from window to window to see if anything would come by, and I kind of wanted to run out and try and kill something, to see what combat was like.
Yeah.
But I was also I'm like, can they mess with my shit? Am I totally safe in here?
You're like the Three Little Pigs,
Yeah, basically.
blow down your house.
And so it's like
I wouldn't have windows.
It's like pitch black out there. I've got my 4 torches.
want to know?
No.
You just hear knocking at the
There'd
door.
be no
You're
light.
like, go away!
There'd be no light, nothing. It would just be this room I could sit in and go, there's a lot of creepiness out there.
But so I was running around, and so it's pitch black out there, and there's a little bit of light spilling out of my house, 6 feet around or whatever. And I'm looking out of the windows. I'm like, our monster's gonna come. Our monster's gonna come. And then all of a sudden, I see this sort of indistinct shape moving in the darkness, and I was like, this pink block turns towards me and it was absolutely terrifying. And I freaked out, and I threw the door open, ran out there with my axe, and chopped it to death. And then all of a sudden, I noticed I was picking up wool, and I'm like, that was a fucking black sheep.
That's awesome.
The next day I went and looked at sheep. I'm like, you guys are terrifying looking, because they have this weird pink pixelated face with these eyes, but the pupils are on the outside of the eyes, and so it's this demon dog thing. And it was black too, so I couldn't see its body. So it was just this pink face that rotated towards me.
That was awesome.
It was like a 70s Satan film where you don't think anything's gonna happen, then all of a sudden this face appears out of nowhere. I'm like, ah!
Kill it.
And then you killed it.
Yes, I murdered
But
it.
you got
Poor little
wool.
sheep.
You got wool to keep you warm.
I did. I made a bed.
So
out
you
of
never even saw a real monster?
It. No, I did not.
That's even better. I love that you're all paranoid in your house.
It was terrifying. I was very paranoid.
That's
in
the
my
best
house.
part.
I'm like, I don't know how serious this is going to be, so I was like afraid to step out and get killed because I didn't know what would happen.
I love that's your
agoraphobic.
I love that's your gameplay experience of you just sitting in your house waiting for the daylight to come.
It was
Like looking out
It
the
was like-
windows.
I'm like, I must have mistaken this for a survival horror game.
What
or
a fun game. You might have put too much emphasis on the monsters.
They mention it like 4 times in
They
the
drilled it into you.
in the tutorial. They're like, you better get your fucking house finished because
You're
there's
gonna
monsters that are
die.
going to come out. Yeah, basically.
Watch this. We'll send the sheep over by him.
That's funny.
Fuck. And there were no other. I didn't even see any other black sheep. I know it was a black sheep because I got black wool, but
That's
like
awesome.
all the other sheep I saw were like white sheep,
I love it.
and it was just that one. So
Now I want
scary.
to play. Now I want to play and come into your world and then
So
just make noise
scary.
out there.
No, because he'll kill you.
You're gonna build like black armor or something and just kind of creep out there, just in the, just outside of the range.
Yeah, and then when you come out,
And
when
then
I see
I'll-
the door fly
and
open,
then I'll
I'll
come
run
out and
away.
kill you.
I'll just run away.
I chased that fucking thing down.
That's awesome.
Minecraft. That was my Minecraft experience.
That sounds like it's worth $20.
terrified by sheep in the
Honestly.
night.
To me. When aren't you?
I no longer count sheep when I go to sleep. All right, well, let's talk about a little DLC here.
DLC.
Because we haven't talked about Asura's Wrath yet on this show, and
Yeah.
we do have a quota to reach.
You do.
I like that quota. Seriously.
So
They
tell
keep-
me all about it.
So we
Dishing
had
stuff
2
out.
things come out that I have tried out. One was the episode pack, which we talked about a little bit on the last episode. I hadn't had a chance to play it, but
I tried that one out.
yes, it's basically a 4th act for the game, which continues on. And then also Lost Episode 1 came out just this week.
Boo.
I'll start off. I'll start off with Lost Episode 1. What is this? The pull list?
Yes.
Lost Episode 1 sells for 160 points.
That's why I'm not having any fun.
It is basically Asura meets Ryu.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
And so now I'm not gonna get into too much of it with the episode pack, but there's something in the episode pack that made
Yeah.
me thought that they were gonna approach this a little differently.
Okay.
But basically, it's kind of before the game begins, and all of a sudden Ryu just magically teleports there. They don't fucking care about story.
don't even care.
It's just basically Asura's like, "Who the fuck are you?" And Ryu's like, "I don't know. I've been teleported places before. I guess I better beat your ass." And then basically
I love that they don't even care.
I know it's I mean,
It is
they
Street
shouldn't.
Fighter.
They shouldn't.
They
It is Street
shouldn't
Fighter.
because
It's really just what it is.
Yeah.
it basically follows like the equivalent of a fighting game's element of plot.
Nice.
And so it's it's still the episodic format. In the first half, you fight against Ryu in a side-scrolling way that is totally Street Fighter,
Fantastic.
complete with round 1, and then and then like when you spoiler when you beat Ryu, then it's like got a continue thing appearing there for a little bit.
That's awesome.
above his
Nice.
head. It's a little like watching Scott Pilgrim, which I recently rewatched. So
Awesome. Cool.
now I have to say that that element where you're fighting side scrolling is tough as shit because Ryu basically fights the same way he fights in Street Fighter, which means he has high and low attacks. He can block, he can break combos and all that. And Asura continues to fight exactly like Asura fights.
Oh.
So and that kept confusing me because I kept trying to jump. And I would do that by pressing up on the joystick. And I'm like, no, A is jump. A is jump.
I love how they
Press-
totally like brain fucked you by putting like
Basically.
a Street Fighter guy in
That's
and you
very
try to play
cool.
like Street
and then he
Fighter.
would block half of your moves. And I'm like, this fucking sucks. I'm like, I can't get through. But it was actually pretty cool. And then you beat, then once you do that, then you and Ryu move to a different location and he turns into Dark Ryu or something. Is that something that's appeared in the fighting games?
Yes. Yeah.
And so he's more powerful. And at that point, it plays more like an Asura's Wrath boss battle.
Nice.
Cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, a lot, and then there's a bit of a teaser for the next Lost Episode 2 at the very end.
Akuma, probably.
That is correct.
Dang it! I called it.
Dang it.
I called a spoiler. It just seems like the natural progression. Actually,
I
awesome.
already knew that because when they showed the Ryu screenshots, they had screenshots for Akuma as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it was pretty swell. And so basically, it's just one chapter, and I finished it, and there were two. It came with 2 achievements. It came for one for this lost episode and for the next lost episode for some reason. I don't know why they packaged them both on this one. Anyway, but I didn't get the achievement, and so I'm like, what's going on? And then it opened up the mission list. And basically, you get 5 missions. Instead of just finishing the level for your achievement, you have to finish these different missions, which go back into the side-scrolling Street Fighter style battle, and you have different ways that you need to beat him. Basically, so like one was they took off half your health. One was you needed a perfect KO. So basically, they took away your whole health bar. Yeah. And so if you got hit, you were finished. One you had to get like a 15-hit combo. And again, this totally sucked because he would totally fucking block everything, and he could like jump up from the ground and uppercut you, and all of his moves.
Classic Ryu.
Yeah, I mean he had all of his moves. But Asura did have this going for him. He could counter some of the moves like with a quick time event.
Yeah,
where when Ryu would do like his spinning top kick or whatever. Yeah, you could like press Y a couple times, and then you'd like counter that, and then you just do it right fucking back to him.
Nice.
Oh. And then also, so they still had the quick time events, but they would appear as like fighting game combos. Like, so instead of just doing like one thing, there would be like 5 moves on there, and it would look like a sequence like you would have for a fighting game.
Nice.
Very cool.
Again, I love that. Well, one thing I love is that they just keep releasing this DLC like every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
While people are still interested in the game, and I think that's a great way to get the DLC to be selling and moving, and continue to attract interest to the game. I mean, hell, we've talked about this 4 episodes now or something like that.
Yeah. It feels like about 12, but
and I also love that they just keep changing things up. Those first episodes were just quick time sorts of things, very story based.
Yeah, that they do them themed, and that they actually put care into them.
Yeah,
to make them like unique.
And things that you're very used to, like the quick time events, get manipulated in different ways.
Yeah.
When we talk about the episode pack, they do interesting things with that as well.
Yeah.
And here making them kind of Street Fighter move like sequences of buttons. And then there's like one where it's just a smattering of buttons coming on the screen. You have to hit all of them, but it's like basically you're just mashing as many buttons as you can in that time limit. But it was pretty swell. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm looking forward to Lost Episode 2.
Awesome. Yeah, I was able to go back, and I did play that episode pack, but I was able to play that other episode, the 11.5.
Yeah, because you didn't play that.
And I didn't play that, and that was so much better than 13.5.
15.5.
15.5 was really good.
It was very story based,
but the
11.5 was more character based.
And really. Oh man, I was yelling at Asura. Man, get up!
It was pretty intense. It was pretty intense.
I love you.
I don't know.
So, episode pack, as we mentioned, was basically a 4th act adding to it. Jeremy, you haven't finished the game.
I have not finished the game.
How sensitive are you to spoilers for this?
I don't think I care.
Okay.
But the people at home might.
Well, that's why I'm mentioning this now. I'm mentioning it directly. You do the time code. They can skip past this part.
They can.
Skip to that's why I saved it for last.
All right.
So they can just kind of get everything else and move on.
Right.
Because talking about the episode pack, it's going to be very difficult to talk about the important things of it without kind of relating it to how the game proper played.
Yeah.
Because in the regular game, you have your 18 episodes, and you get through those, and they come to a very reasonable conclusion. It's very, straightforward, cut and dry.
Yeah.
Asura gets achieves the goals that have been very obviously his goals throughout the entire game, and then they say complete the secret episode, and then you get 18A or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
And
I can't remember.
Basically, it's the exact same episode. Like, all the gameplay that you're playing through is exactly the same, but then you get to the end, and right as it's ending, like, it kind of twists a little bit.
Yep.
And, that's awesome.
But it doesn't give a lot, and it just kind of leaves it there, and then it gives you another to be continued, as opposed to, giving you the end or whatever.
That's funny.
And so...
Because I think that's only if you get a certain ranking on all of the levels.
That's right. You have to unlock it.
You have to unlock it.
That's true.
Yep.
But I was going for a good ranking on them as I was playing through anyway, so I ended up with that. And I liked that it. I knew there was going to be DLC for it, and I liked that they had that sort of trailer teaser going on for that DLC. But I thought the regular ending worked just fine.
Oh yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Yeah,
It's very straightforward. And then I played the episode pack, and I said, "What?"
that was awesome.
For as over the top and insane and crazy and fun as the rest of the game was, those 4 episodes blew them away.
Yeah, it was pretty tight.
Probably even just 2 of the episodes.
It was pretty tight. It was really tight.
It was pretty amazing. So basically, we find out who someone was orchestrating all of this and testing Asura, and he's like, now I'm going to make you my successor and you'll be in charge of everything. And Asura is like, what?
Yeah.
And he said, and of course Asura being Asura was not up to that, and so he's like, fuck that, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah. Going against the wrath, man. Oh, I love it.
And it, builds up quite a bit. There is another episode with Yasha where you're controlling Yasha, and that was kind of a pain again. Especially because I left everything on hard.
Yeah.
And Yasha takes damage pretty easily.
The gameplay does change up a little bit when
you have to
play as
strategize differently as Yasha than you do
Which
as
I like
Asura.
about that.
I do too.
I like that part about it.
Yeah. But then it comes back, and we find out that they are in fact mechanical men or something, like cyborgs or whatever.
It's crazy.
Which, was a reasonable assumption up before then. But then he just, like, punches his chest and it, like, opens up his panels. And I'm like, oh. And he's fucking Iron Man in there with, like, the little arc reactor in the middle of his chest.
Pretty much.
Also, I like how putting machinery together for Yasha involves punching it together as hard as possible. And then that works. So, yeah, Yasha helps basically supercharge Asura so he can go have this huge final battle. And that final battle was mind-blowing.
Yeah, it was. I really loved a lot of the gameplay involved. I mean, we already mentioned like all the bees that would show up on the screen. The buttons to hit, and it'd make me get. I'd go, oh! It really pulled you in, but
it keeps you active.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, that's a whole bunch. So you just start hammering on them, and then it just clears the screen. It's just for the gameplay aspect of it. But man, just the story behind it is so fun. It's got that God's story. It reminds me of like I love the Norse gods, and it has that kind of feel to it. Like the ending and it's kind of a reboot type feel.
Kind of. I mean, it's very based heavily on
reincarnation and things like that.
Hindu and Buddhist sort of mythology, and we have the creator versus the destroyer, and the destroyer, while the analog in Christian religions would probably be the devil, is not the same sort of, is not viewed in the same sort of way. Our main protagonist is the destroyer.
And then the design work for the main antagonist of that final chapter is just amazing.
Well, a lot of it was very traditional Indian sort of representations, but then later, later it gets insane. And as I mentioned before, they play around with the whole gameplay of it as well as storytelling devices. And there's a point where you're getting into the battle and your enemy has basically quick time events as well.
Yes.
Like as they're fighting you.
That's
like
awesome.
But they're like in this alien language. And at first I wasn't quite sure if I needed to press those. And I'm like, wait, I think this is for the other guy. Maybe I should mess these up. But I didn't have any control. It was like somebody else was controlling it.
That's awesome.
And then they used some for like anticipation. I remember there was one where like this punch was coming in and it was like taking forever, and I knew this, and the Y was zooming in, and I'm like, I'm ready, and then it just kind of stopped. And I'm like, oh.
And then you just stand, and then it showed
Video
up,
game
and
blue
then
balls.
you hit. Yeah, exactly. Totally. The way that this game pulls you in, which is these real time events, I mean, it's just so episodic, and a lot of people can bash the fact that this is the real ending and you got to pay money for it. Well,
I don't think so. That's why I wanted to talk about that.
And I thought you did a really good job of. I've just read some comments on it. I think you did a really good job of stating that it had a good ending. The video game ended very well. Yeah, this episode was fantastic. Do you need to get it? No. But should you? Yes. If you own this fucking game, you should play this ending because it's amazing.
Sean doesn't own the game, and he got it.
That is the point I was going to.
If you just play through the regular 18 episodes, you don't worry about getting all that extra stuff, then you would be perfectly happy with that ending that they give you. And I just wanted to play more. I've just been enjoying playing all this additional stuff throughout. So yeah, it's not on disc DLC. I know Capcom gets chided a lot for that, but it was a pretty sizable download. It was over a gig for these episodes, so it's not stuff that was already included on there. But, you know, that 18A episode, I suppose, was included on there. Or maybe not. Didn't it get an update right away? Do you have to get an update?
I think it did, yeah.
Could be.
But...
Considering 18A is exactly 18 plus an epilogue.
Yeah, well, this whole Nirvana, that DLC is so fantastic. I'm looking forward to that Lost episode. That one was $560 for the
yes.
Yeah.
$7 $560. Lost episode 1, I believe, was $160.
So $2.
Yeah, I don't think I had a full $3. Or no, I had over $3, but I think I still had like over $1 left.
I think that's what they were for the other one, around that.
They were around $2 or $3 for the other two.
And that, to me, I don't own the game. I've been borrowing it from Craig. Had I owned the game, I'd be buying these as quickly as I'm buying them now. I mean, I'm buying them before Craig gives me the disc.
In anticipation.
Yes, and that's the thing, is this game, I just, as people have heard, and we keep saying, is really good.
Yeah. So sorry for being spoiler heavy, but really there was a lot of really great elements in there that.
And we didn't get too spoiler.
I don't need to borrow it anymore because everything's been ruined.
No, you do. It's amazing.
I'm kidding. It's so fun.
Some of that stuff
I still want to play it.
Is amazing. Like when you're doing sort of the flying portion.
Yeah.
Towards the end, I think in the last chapter or whatever. Holy shit.
Now you just ruin more.
I didn't tell you anything.
It's awesome. We ruined the awesomeness.
There's like a flying portion every 3 episodes in the game.
Stop ruining things.
It's a cat with a toaster body.
Yes.
And it's got
Asura turns into Nyan cat.
Yeah. And
So
it's just all rainbows
right.
and fist punching.
He becomes a Pop-Tart.
He actually battles as memes, internet memes. He keeps changing into them.
You guys,
And when he
don't understand how
when he
awesome
grows
this
his
would
extra
be.
arms, then he's like that rage face guy.
Yeah.
You know?
like I was 2 days ago when my Xbox got.
And then he gets punched off a cliff, and he's like, "Fuck!"
That was pretty much me 2 days ago when my Xbox got hacked.
True.
But check out that game.
Well, now I want a meme episode. God damn it.
That's what I'm saying. That all
was
has
what
to
you're
happen.
saying.
And then, I did. And then the big cat needs to come down, like a little cat, like the ceiling cat. Ceiling cat needs to come down and hit him.
Okay. Well, that's the DLC.
And he just
Awesome.
needs to take a nap. That guy, he's so upset
I guess
all the time.
DLC wise, he needs some chamomile tea.
Yeah.
DLC wise, I did actually purchase the Evil Empire add-on pack for Toy Soldiers Cold War as well.
Oh, the other
nice.
Didn't really have a lot to add to what Sean said, although. Sean, you were saying that you thought that was easier. I thought that was the hardest fucking levels in Toy Soldiers Cold War I have ever played.
Awesome. I'm the best.
That means you should play the other
I'm
one.
the best strategist ever. Strategist.
What was really hard was that
I don't know the word.
basically the deployment points for the enemies were always really close, and you're always being dropped in like immediately, and really fucking hard. I got through it, but especially at that end boss, it was all I could do to survive.
Maybe it was
using the vehicles a lot too.
Maybe it was the fact that I hadn't played it in so long, and then when it was just like in my face, I had to adapt, and it was just like it was just
You got to.
You weren't
time to do
overthinking
it. Yeah.
I checked out the Dragon's Dogma demo as well.
Oh, excellent.
I really like what's going on in that game. I don't know what's going on in that game, but I like it.
Yeah, it's really hard to get a real semblance of the story or anything, but gameplay-wise...
And it's funny because we talk about those games where everything feels sluggish. This almost feels too fast.
I can see that.
Like
I can see that,
You can
yeah.
run, and I'm like, okay, I'll run and move, and he runs like a motherfucker. Like he just takes off like a bullet when you run. And
Well, in a lot of these situations, you have a lot of ground to cover to get to that monster.
yeah, but I just found I was just running ahead of people, and I really like how they do the button combos.
Yeah.
Like you have your regular attack and your heavy attack, but you can alter
shield
it with
attacks
and you can alter it with the bumper button. So you like bumper it, and then you have like all these 3 different
and then
varied attacks.
Other
you can
characters
do.
are going to be buffering you as well. Like your weapons are on fire all of a sudden. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, you just
Snow
have these,
harpies.
these minion guys that come around and they like help you out, and they were awesome. And like you could call out to them and tell them to help.
Did you have that one in the Griffin battle offering to throw you in the air?
Yes, and that's what I was
Did you
doing.
figure it out? I couldn't get it figured out.
It was basically whenever I was close enough
Yeah.
to the person, and they would like, here, I'll boost you up, and they bend down,
Yeah.
and I run at them. And so as long as I moved at them, they basically just flung me in
Springboarded you.
the air, and then I could grab the guy. And that's how I took him down finally.
That's awesome.
And so that was part of my thing. Where it's like the co-op like part of it, like with the way that the computer. I mean, these are computer controlled people.
Yeah.
And so like the way that you can do the co-op experience of it was awesome. Like when they were holding people and like I could hold people and call people over and they'd come over and start hacking the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Or like those harpies that were flying around and I'd jump up and grab one and then
Did you?
and
That's
then
awesome.
I would grab it and you pull it down and you basically hold it on the ground by its wings and then somebody like this chick would come over, she's like, okay, and she's like like with her fucking two blades and like tearing the shit out of
I've
it.
yet to
And
play
then it
this.
died. And then that manticore comes out
Fucking Manticore.
and you gotta like I'm climbing around on its back.
And that other melee guy's like jumping on his ass, killing the snake tail.
Well, I jumped up there and trying to kill the snake at first, and then I went over to the goat, and then the snake kept biting me, so I went back to the snake.
Yeah.
But it's like, it was just insane, and stuff was going on all over the place. And it looked really overwhelming at first with the controls, but it wasn't that difficult at all. Because most of it was just the way to do like buffered
and
attacks.
you can get pretty far with
minimal stuff.
Yeah,
I wonder when it
smashing
get. You don't really in the demo. You don't really get into the inventory stuff too much.
No.
So I
It
wonder how
glosses
that
over
stuff's
a
going to
lot
go.
of elements, yeah.
Yeah, it's really more focused on the action parts,
Which is good.
which is fine.
a good
yeah.
choice.
So I had a blast with it. I think it's going to be a ton. I'm really looking forward to just running through it and being crazy.
Me too.
I don't think it's going to be Skyrim level where I'm like really in depth into the role playing aspect of it.
Oh no, this
But
is much more arcadey.
The action adventure
senses.
part I think is going to make it so I fly through a lot quicker and have more fun with it. So I'm looking forward to it. You should check it out.
I know. I have it written down from my last show notes. It's to
crazy.
play it, and I didn't. I
It's
totally
nuts.
failed.
Well, I normally fail, so I didn't this
Yeah.
time.
Oh, sweet.
Well, I'm glad you got a chance to
Yeah,
play it.
I think it's out in a couple weeks, so
Cool.
I'm gonna play it.
I'm going to play it.
Hopefully.
I'm going to play it.
Do we have anything else? Is that it?
That's it.
We're done. We got a contest to talk about.
We do have a contest
All right.
to talk about.
So here's the contest. And this comes from listener and loyal supporter on all fronts.
Oh, yeah.
Lunchbox 700 is what he goes by on
I'm
Twitter.
starting to believe one of you guys is him, but I guess it's not. That's not what it is.
He's on our forums as well as
Yeah.
Spicoli Driver because
Yes.
everybody has to have like 18 different handles everywhere. You wouldn't know
I wouldn't
about
know
that.
any of that.
Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about that. So he has donated to us,
Yes.
and he's actually been trying to for a little while now, and we've been terrible. I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but I'm lazy and poorly motivated. So he had a code for a full download of the Halo Reach game, as well as the Modern Warfare 3 Content Pack #1, which came out a couple months ago. And we've been kind of trying to devise a way to do it to get people to enter the contest and hopefully get that out to people who don't have the games already. And we haven't been able to come up with anything that made any sense. So I had a conversation with him a couple days ago in regards to my hacked account. And me lamenting online about how I didn't really know how this show was going to go,
Yeah.
or if it was even going to happen, because
Right.
that was on the table too.
Yeah.
With Sean being out of commission with no Xbox and me having no account that I could use, not having anything to play, so we almost put it on hold. And he threw up a idea of we should just have a contest to see why people even listen to this episode. Knowing all that information. And since we presented that information at the front of the episode, I think that's what the contest is going to be.
Nice.
So all you have to do is email us at comments@signedinpodcast.com and let us know why you even listened to this episode. You heard at the front we had hardly anything to talk about. Why did you waste the last 40 minutes of your life?
And there's probably going to be like 40 of them to say, I wanted to hear more about Asura's Wrath.
There probably will be. You will not win.
Oh, I was just about to say that will help you.
But then I had to skip because you fuckers spoiled
You'll
it.
get a,
That will make you win. If you
Get a
complain
nose
about the
prize.
spoilers, you'll
Yeah.
win. All you have to do is email us at comments@signedinpodcast.com. Let us know why you listened to this episode. And let us know if you'd like the Modern Warfare or the Halo Reach, and we're going to pick a winner for each. And we'll announce them on the next episode. How about that?
Are they allowed to say, I would like both?
They can say they'd like both, but they're not going to get both. And in fact, they probably won't win either then.
No, but I mean, like, would they be entered for both competitions?
Oh, if they didn't care which one they got?
yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
saying?
Not, I would like both simultaneously.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm really going by how people would actually send us information. Yeah, you can say you don't have a preference.
Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all you got to do is let us know why you even listened to this episode. Because
Hear from me.
I don't get it.
it's all Sean all the time.
It is all
Zombies.
fun. Or if you don't want to enter the contest and you just want to email us, you can email us at
Yes.
comments@signedinpodcast at any time. We'd love to hear from you.
That's correct.
Signinpodcast.com is our website with a link to our Twitter, our Facebook, all the past episodes, our forums.
And stop by there to check out some community play dates coming up.
Yes.
Create some of your own.
And to put in a word that you'll be joining the Monday Night Combat that's happening tonight if you're listening to this on time.
Well, you kind of let it out a little bit early, but
That's what she said.
Mm.
I often let it out a little early. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
it does slip out a little bit early sometimes.
Whoa.
And there's a link on there to all of the other pseudo radio shows as well.
I was caught off guard on those. That's pretty far.
That's about it. Next episode, Dragon's Dogma. Hopefully I'll have that to talk about if my account's up and running.
Yeah.
Max Payne's coming out, Max Payne 3, which I want to take a look at. I'm
I kind of want to check it out
see
too
what's going
because
on
it's
with
set in
that.
Sao Paulo,
It is.
where I've been.
You have been there. I'm going to blow the shit out of that place. There's also a Game of Thrones coming out, the disc release that's coming out.
That's
with that.
bizarre.
I didn't know there was a disc release.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's
weird.
But I do want to see it. But my hopes are tepid. Tempered, tepid.
I don't know what
Any
you
of
started
those?
to try to say.
I think I was going to say tepid.
Flaccid?
Flaccid. My hopes are flaccid. And
My hopes are always
I
flaccid.
think next week Dragon Slayer's coming out on the XBLA.
That's right. Yeah, that is coming out.
For like the 18th version of that game.
Nothing wrong with that.
There is nothing wrong with it. I'm going to play it because
Yep.
I love it.
I might actually pass this
I
one.
wish it was a Space Ace combo.
That would be awesome.
Give me both.
But yeah, I might actually pass this one. See the end of it.
You might, because you can just keep doing
I
it.
tell you, arcade, that game pissed me off.
That done game, that game.
Are you talking about the game room?
Oh, just no,
At a real arcade.
Yeah, the real arcade, Dragon Slayer. Just I couldn't get past the one where you're in that weird room and you got to go up the stairs and you got to avoid that tentacle that comes down through the roof.
Yeah.
Why there's a tentacle up in the fucking ceiling but no water's coming down.
I
hate
know
that
why.
game.
Because they want your quarters.
I know, and they got them too.
They did.
Fuckers.
So tune in for plenty of quick time playing fun.
Yeah.
And probably more Azura's Wrath. There is
That'll
DLC.
probably be another lost episode.
There will be. Let's leave.
I hope they find them all.
I hope they find them all quickly.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder who stole them.
I don't know.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.